Chapter 17, verse 18 says, "One who has no sin shakes hands in pledge and puts up security for a neighbor." Today's reading offers wisdom about making wise financial and relational decisions. It warns us against rashly entering into agreements, loans, or contracts, especially when it comes to friends or family. This verse emphasizes the importance of discernment and self-care when navigating situations that could lead to financial or emotional harm. Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Richards Scott, your purpose guide, and this is Purpose Quest, where women who are seeking their purpose or those who want to leave a legacy come together to study God's Word and learn how to build Christian-based businesses, business based on Christian principles, or ministries that impact the kingdom. So first, let's talk about being cautious with commitments. The verse teaches us that it's unwise to co-sign loans, guarantee debts, or make promises for others when it puts us at risk. Often, in our desire to help a loved one, we can find ourselves making pledges or financial commitments on their behalf, believing that they'll repay or follow through. But the reality is that if someone cannot handle their own obligations, they are unlikely to handle those that they owe you. Instead of placing ourselves in such precarious situations, we must assess what we are willing and able to do. If someone truly needs help, it may be better to give what you can afford as a gift rather than lending or taking on their debt. This approach avoids potential strain on the relationship and protects your own well-being. Ultimately, it protects the relationship as well because you won't have to waste time tracking them down to repay you, and they don't need to avoid you at every turn. Next, the importance of discernment. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 18 isn't just about finances. It's a call to wisdom and discernment in every commitment we make. Whether it's business contracts or personal relationships, we need to carefully vet those who we enter into agreements with. Taking on an obligation for people who are unreliable, even if they're close to us, can lead to unnecessary stress and harm. Additionally, this verse reminds us to evaluate the circles we keep. Our environment and our relationships often reflect where we are in life. If we desire to grow and move forward to the next level, we may need to reassess the people around us and ensure that our partnerships are aligned with our goals and values. Next, self-care and boundaries. Another key takeaway is the importance of self-care and setting boundaries. Helping others is admirable, but it should never come at the expense of your own stability. Saying no or choosing not to engage in certain agreements doesn't make you unkind. It makes you wise. Protecting your resources and peace of mind allows you to serve others in a way that are sustainable and aligned with God's guidance. Okay, so I want to reflect and apply some of this. 1, avoid rash commitments. Before making financial or contractual commitments, consider the risk and pray for discernment. 2, reevaluate relationships. Are there people in your life who regularly overstep boundaries and ask you to bear their burdens? Make a decision to step out of the way so God can be their provider. 3, give instead of lending. If you decide to help someone, consider giving what you can afford as a gift rather than lending or co-signing. This way, you are both free from debt. 4, seek God's direction. Pray for clarity and listen for God's guidance before entering into any agreement, especially when potentially irresponsible people are involved. If you ever watch someone take a vacation, get a mani-pedi, buy a new car, when they still owe you money, you know that your unsecured debt is the last thing on their mind. So here's my closing thought. This verse is a reminder to be wise, discerning, and prayerful in all our decisions. God calls us to exercise good judgment and not take on burdens that are not our own. When we are generous, it should come from a place of willingness and wisdom, not pity, obligation, or fear. So let's see what actions we can focus on for this week. I want you to evaluate the areas in your life where you may have made unwise commitments or gone beyond your limits. Set healthy boundaries and ask God to show you how to give and serve in a way that honors Him and protects your peace. First, financial stewardship and wisdom. It is unwise to jeopardize your own financial stability for someone else's obligations. Second, discernment in relationships and partnerships. Research and vet the people or organizations you're considering partnering with. Don't sign contracts or make commitments based upon emotions or pressure. Third, evaluate your circle. Surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and uplift you. Fourth, consequences of unwise decisions. Unwise financial decisions can damage trust and cause resentment. 5, scriptural application and life lessons. Be mindful of the commitment you make and the financial entanglements you enter. 6, actionable steps for financial boundaries. Reflect on your current financial commitments and assess if they align with God's wisdom. And 7, pray for discernment about any changes you need to make to your relationships. Before entering into any new financial agreement or partnership, pray for God's clear direction. Remember, God has entrusted you, equipped you, and empowered you for your purpose. I'll see you in the next video when we unpack Proverbs chapter 18. Keep moving towards your purpose. God bless you.